What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Today, we're exploring how Batman has evolved from the campy 1960s series to the gritty psychological portraits of modern cinema. Before we dive into the cinematic journey of Batman, let's briefly acknowledge his origins. Created by artist Bob Kane and writer Bill Finger in 1939, Batman first appeared in Detective Comics number 27. The character was conceived as a response to the success of Superman, but took a decidedly darker approach. Unlike Superman's alien origins and godlike powers, Batman was something different, a human being driven by tragedy, using his intellect, wealth, and determination to fight crime. This core concept has remained consistent throughout Batman's many adaptations, but how filmmakers have interpreted this foundation has varied dramatically. First up, The Bright Knight, Adam West, 1966 to 1968. For many, Adam West's portrayal in the 1966 television series was their first introduction to Batman. Bright, colorful, and deliberately campy, this Batman was worlds away from the brooding vigilante of the comics. West's Batman fought crime with a smile, delivered moral lessons directly to camera, and never met a pun he didn't like. What's remarkable about West's Batman is how it reflected the era's understanding of superheroes as children's entertainment. In an age before comics and superheroes were taken seriously as art forms, Batman was presented as family-friendly fun, complete with visible pow and bam sound effects. While modern audiences might find this take quaint or even silly, West's Batman remains beloved precisely because of its sincerity and charm. It also established Batman as a household name beyond comic books. Next, we get into the grit. The Dark Knight Rises, Michael Keaton, 1989 to 1992. After West's run, Batman largely disappeared from live action for over 20 years until Tim Burton's revolutionary 1989 film Batman. With Michael Keaton in the cowl, this Batman returned to the character's darker roots and redefined superhero cinema in the process. When Michael Keaton was cast as Batman, fans were outraged. Known primarily for comedic roles in films like Mr. Mom and Beetlejuice, Keaton seemed wildly unsuitable to play the brooding Dark Knight. The studio reportedly received over 50,000 protest letters, and industry insiders predicted disaster for what was then one of Warner Brothers' most expensive productions. Yet Keaton silenced his critics with a performance that perfectly captured Batman's duality. His unassuming physicality made his transformation into the intimidating Batman all the more powerful, while his slightly unhinged portrayal of Bruce Wayne suggested the psychological toll of his double life. Keaton proved that casting against type could reveal new dimensions to a character, establishing a tradition of surprising Batman casting choices that continues to this day. Burton's gothic vision gave us a Gotham City that felt like a character itself, a nightmarish urban nightmare where Batman seemed almost at home. Keaton's performance challenged audiences by playing Bruce Wayne as eccentric and possibly unhinged, suggesting that anyone who dresses as a bat to fight crime might not be entirely stable. What made this portrayal significant was how it balanced darkness with mainstream appeal. Despite the film's brooding tone, it became a massive commercial success, proving that superhero films could be both profitable and artistically distinct. Now, where many fans are trying to forget, The Neon Knight, Val Kilmer and George Clooney, 1995 to 1997. Following Burton's departure, director Joel Schumacher took Batman in a dramatically different direction. Val Kilmer's portrayal in Batman Forever began steering the franchise back toward camp, while George Clooney's turn in Batman and Robin fully embraced a neon-soaked aesthetic that many fans consider the nadir of Batman cinema. These films are often criticized for their rubber nipple suits, one-liners, and cartoonish villains. Yet they represent an important chapter in Batman's evolution, a reminder that the character's popularity has always existed in a push-pull between darkness and accessibility. Batman and Robin was such a critical failure that it effectively killed the franchise for nearly a decade. This commercial disappointment created the vacuum that would allow for Batman's most dramatic reinvention yet. Finally, we come full circle, The Realistic Knight, Christian Bale, 2005 to 2012. In 2005, director Christopher Nolan and actor Christian Bale delivered Batman Begins and truly landed the greatest visual tale of Batman to date. The first film not only revived the Batman franchise, but revolutionized superhero cinema. Nolan's approach was unprecedented, treating Batman with complete seriousness and grounding the character in a world that felt adjacent to our own. For the first time on film, Batman's origin story was given thorough psychological weight. Bale's Bruce Wayne was a tortured soul whose transformation into Batman felt like a logical, if extreme, response to trauma. The film asked, what would drive a man to become Batman, and how might he actually accomplish it? This trilogy, continuing with The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises, elevated Batman to unprecedented cultural significance. The Dark Knight, in particular, featuring Heath Ledger's iconic performance as the Joker, transcended the superhero genre to become a crime epic that earned serious critical acclaim and commercial success. Nolan's Batman existed in a post-9/11 world concerned with themes of terrorism, surveillance, and moral compromise. The villains were no longer cackling caricatures, but dark reflections of societal fears. Batman himself was reimagined as a symbol rather than just a superhero, an idea that could inspire Gotham in ways Bruce Wayne alone could not. Next, close but not quite there, The Brutal Knight, Ben Affleck, 2016 to 2017. After Nolan concluded his trilogy, director Zack Snyder introduced Ben Affleck as an older, more jaded Batman in Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Snyder and Affleck pulled quite a lot from the classic Frank Miller graphic novel, The Dark Knight, even having him face off with Superman in full Batman armor. This Batman was unlike any before, a veteran crime fighter who had grown cruel and uncompromising after decades of fighting a losing battle. Affleck's Batman was physically imposing, with fight scenes that showcased the character's brutality and tactical brilliance. For the first time, audiences saw Batman fight in a way that resembled the kinetic violence of modern comics and video games. While this version proved divisive among fans and critics, Affleck's portrayal represented yet another evolution in how filmmakers interpreted the character. This Batman existed in a world of gods and aliens, forcing the character to grapple with his humanity in the face of superhuman threats. Finally, a whole new take, The Detective Knight, Robert Pattinson, 2022 to present. In 2022, director Matt Reeves and actor Robert Pattinson delivered The Batman, a film that emphasized an aspect of the character often overlooked on screen: Batman as the world's greatest detective. Pattinson's Batman is younger and less assured than previous incarnations. Set in only the second year of his crime-fighting career, this Batman is still working through his trauma and figuring out what kind of symbol he wants to be for Gotham. What distinguishes Reeves's film is its noir influences. For the first time, a Batman film structured itself as a detective story, with the Caped Crusader following a trail of clues left by the Riddler. This approach allowed the film to explore Gotham's corruption and Batman's detective skills in unprecedented depth. Pattinson's portrayal leans into Batman's psychological complexity, depicting Bruce Wayne as almost reclusive and uncomfortable in his billionaire persona. This Batman questions his methods and mission in ways that feel both fresh and faithful to the character's comic book evolution. Now, the future of Batman on screen. As of 2025, Batman's cinematic future stands at a crossroads. James Gunn and Peter Safran are rebooting the DC universe, and while Robert Pattinson will continue in Matt Reeves' separate Batman franchise, a new actor will eventually don the cowl in the interconnected DCEU. Fan campaigns have rallied behind actors like Alan Ritchson, known for his physically imposing presence in Reacher, and Jensen Ackles, who has already voiced Batman in animated projects. While no official casting has been announced, these fan movements highlight how invested audiences remain in who portrays the Caped Crusader. Let us know in the comments who you would like to see don the cowl in the new DCU. Timothée Chalamet, anyone? From Adam West to Robert Pattinson, Batman has evolved from campy crusader to tortured vigilante, from superhero to symbol. Each actor and filmmaker has found something new in this enduring character while maintaining his core essence. What makes Batman so enduring is his adaptability. Unlike heroes with godlike powers, Batman is fundamentally human, driven by loss, defined by his choices, and limited by his mortality. This humanity makes him simultaneously aspirational and relatable. As we look to Batman's future on screen, one thing remains certain: the character will continue to evolve, reflecting our cultural concerns, fears, and hopes. As long as there are shadows in our cities and within ourselves, there will be a place for the Dark Knight. Hope you enjoyed this exploration of Batman's cinematic journey. By all means, please like, subscribe, and share your favorite Batman actor or film in the comments below. Until next time, remember, it's not who you are underneath, but what you do that defines you.